We got a few Spurs heading to the All-Star weekend. Let's see where they're going to be competing in.
You are Locked On Spurs, your daily San Antonio Spurs podcast, part of the Locked On Podcast Network. Your team every day.
Happy Friday. Welcome back to Locked On Spurs, right here on the Locked On NBA Network. I'm your host, Jeff Garcia. Spurs writer for Kansas by San Antonio, and completely under the weather. Yes, I got it. I got it bad, everybody. I'm trying to rally right here. I almost did an audio only, but I tanked up on medicine. Feeling a little better. Hopefully this will go well. So pardon me if I sound very, very congested here. Not feeling well at all. But I thank you for making Locked On Spurs your first listen every single day. Free and available wherever you get podcasts. iTunes, Spotify, Kansas by Plus app, YouTube. Locked On Spurs newsletter to the description below. Click on that. It says LO Spurs newsletter. Completely free. Sign up right now. Hit your email inbox every single day. Today's episode is brought to you by FanDuel. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if the first $5 bet wins. So, yeah, the Spurs are off for a while. Well, except for about 3 of them. We'll get into that in a bit. But they don't play till next week, Thursday, in Austin against the Suns, start their I-35 series. But doesn't mean you'll have some sort of Spurs action to cheer about. If you're living in a rock, you already know this. Wemby, Chris Paul, Stephon Castle, they're on their way to San Francisco to take part in the 2025 NBA All-Star Weekend. Now, just to recap, Wemby obviously is playing in the All-Star game itself on Sundays, a tournament style. We'll get into that in a bit. And then he's also playing in the Skills Challenge with Chris Paul. And then Stephon Castle is taking part in the dunk contest. Hopefully he can be the first Spur to ever win that contest. Crossing figure. I think he has a good shot. We're going to be talking about that. Then get into your comments, the Locked On Spurs fan comments. It's been a while. Let's catch up what you guys are talking about. But let's go to bring in our guest. He is back, everybody. Joe Garcia, look at that. Joe is back, everybody. Area 210 podcast on YouTube. Joe, welcome back.
Thanks for having me. It's always good to be back when our schedules align because I'm quite busy working and you get busy too.
Yeah. And then I'm under the weather. So, by the way, thank you, Joe, for having some patience. I kept on delaying the start of this show. I said, I just need a little bit more time. Gotta let the meds kick in. Just give me like 10 more minutes. Maybe they'll kick in, but they're kicking in as best they can. So we just got to roll with it. But no. He meant to say it for me. You're not coming near me. I heard what you said on your show, Joe. We're not putting that Vicks on you.
Wants to come over and rub Vicks on you, Jeff? It makes you better.
We're not doing that. No, stay away.
You know?
Stay away, Jimenez. Stay away, Jimenez. But Joe is with, again, the Area 210 podcast on YouTube. We'll talk about that in a minute. Follow him on X at Area 210 podcast. And look at it. He's so innocent. He even has a halo above his head. Look at that.
Oh, yeah. Nice halo lights. Well, you've seen the lights here in the studio. They're big. Halo lights, that we have on the ceiling.
I have. But Joe, thank you again for making time out of your schedule to come on. Joe's a busy man during the week, but I finally got him some time for you to come here on Locked On Spurs. And he's closing out the week with us right here on Locked On Spurs. All right, Joe. Spurs All-Star Weekend. There's going to be 3 Spurs heading over there. It could have been 4. Unfortunately, also Spurs Isaiah Miller. He got hurt before the game, so he had to leave. But we still got some Spurs representation. Wemby at the All-Star game. Wemby at the Skills Challenge. Chris Paul joined him at the Skills Challenge, And then, of course, got Stephon Castle, the dunk contest. So let's start off with Wemby at the game itself. He's been on record already saying that he's not going to go in there to make friends. He's not going to go in there to kind of lollygag. He wants to take this game serious. Wouldn't be surprised if he's the guy that's taking this serious. And the team that he's playing on, Team Charles Barkley, they get their competitive juices. He wants a competition, Joe, not this weak, run the park, scripted game. Your thoughts?
Yeah, he doesn't want no wimpy ganas out there, which is not putting forth the effort, And I'm not coming at Wemby. It's a phrase that the listeners have made. When you're not putting forth the effort, when you're not coming out with heart and intensity. And that's what Wemby wants to do. Good for him, man. I hope he comes out, makes a statement, represents the silver and black well, but more importantly, comes in and goes ahead and has a great game for himself. That way people can go ahead and look at him as a player and be like, man, look at this kid go, man. He's going to be something special. So I hope he has a great game.
Yeah, me too. I don't know. What do you think? MVP? I don't know. I don't probably higher.
If we're going to go that far, but I think he will go ahead and have some maybe some spectacular plays, spectacular dunk or a block,
Right.
doing what he does best. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. What do you think about the tournament? The actual All-Star game is not a game; it's actually a tournament. What do you think?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking that, the other things he's going to be competing in, he's going to be competing in the skills challenge, he's going to be, isn't he going to be competing in the, was it the Rising Stars game as well?
No. He bowed out of that one. I think NBA rules they can play one. But as far as the game itself, do you think this tournament style is going to work? Because you got Team Charles Barkley, where Wemby's playing. You got Team Kenny Smith. Then you got the winning team of the Rising Stars Challenge, which we'll talk about that in a bit with Steph Castle. And then, so you got these 4 teams competing in a tournament. Do you think that's going to inject some life in the All-Star game?
I don't know if it will. I mean, they're trying to do something different, but I'm all for change, man, because it's gotten a little stale lately. I do love the skills challenge. I don't love the NBA All-Star game so much because it's so convoluted. It's not
boring.
really
It's
an
boring,
exhibition game. Basically, it's just an exhibition game, and it's boring. There's no real sense of urgency. To me, it would be like they do in the NBA and the MLB, right? Major League Baseball. If you win that division or what have you, it's either East or West, has home field advantage, right? That means something, right?
Perfect. Yeah.
Why can't that happen in the NBA? Whichever side wins, it actually means something. It's meaningful. It's not just, it's just a game. We're just going to go out there and basically do an exhibition game for the fans. They need to inject some life, some energy into it so it actually has merit. If you win this is what happens moving forward. Same thing with the NBA dunk contest. I'm happy and thrilled that we're going to talk about it with Stephon Castle, but that needs it needs a bit of an overhaul, Jeff. Let's be honest.
Yeah, it does. They can fix this easily, and all the fans have been crying for it for a USA versus the world matchup. That's just perfect. That's perfect. Wemby, Joker, Shai Gilgeous, guys like that on one team, then the other team. You have LeBron, Steph Curry, Tatum. I think that would just work tremendously, and I think that could save the All-Star game. Wemby, he says that, again, he's taking it seriously. He's going to be out there and compete. I could see him getting upset with his teammates, like, what are y'all doing? Y'all just messing around here. We got to play some defense. Taking it like the way it was back in the day when defense was played. But nevertheless, I'm expecting good things out of Wemby. He is a reserve. It's his first time ever being an All-Star. And I think he's going to want to show out. I wouldn't be surprised, though, if he puts up some big numbers, considering they don't play defense in the All-Star break. The All-Star game, excuse me. They don't play defense, and you know that. So I can see him put up some monster numbers. Joe, your thoughts?
I think he can put up some numbers. I don't know if they're going to be monstrous because I'm not trying to be the Debbie Downer. I'm just trying to be realistic. And the realistic expectation is what has the coaching staff told Wemby and everybody else? They're going to protect their players. And in years past, we've seen what's happened with Spurs players. They limit their minutes out there. So there's only so much Wemby can do with the minutes he's given. But I do hope he goes out there and makes the most of them. It has some spectacular plays. I don't know if the numbers are going to be indicative of what Spurs fans are going to want, but I think he can go out there and have an impact on the game nonetheless.
Yeah. Should be a good game. Again, he's with Team Charles Barkley. I believe, let me see here. He's teamed up with quite a powerhouse team here, but regardless, I don't have the names here, but they're a stacked team. It's pretty much an international squad that Charles Barkley put together with Wemby leading it. So we're kind of getting USA versus the world indirectly. Charles Barkley went that route, and we'll see. But other than that, Wemby should have a good showing. All right, let's move on to the NBA Skills Challenge, where Wemby will play a game. Again, this time teamed up with Chris Paul. Joe, I got this pairing ahead of the pack. What do you think?
I mean, Chris Paul, he's a savvy point guard. He's going to know how to go ahead and get those bounce passes going for Wemby. Wemby will get going. I think Chris Paul's going to get going. I think they're going to have a good showing. Spurs fans are going to have something to get excited about. This is one of my favorite events of the NBA All-Star Weekend. So I have high hopes and expectations for both Chris Paul and Victor Wembanyama out there representing Team Spurs. So go Spurs, go, man. I'm excited about this one.
Let's look at the field here. You got Team Cavs with Donovan Mitchell and Evan Mobley. Team Rookies or Rooks with Zachary Ricochet and Alex Sarr. And then you got Team Spurs we talked about. And then Team Warriors, which is Draymond Green and Moses Moody. I look at that field, Joe. The only one, I think Team Rooks is out. They don't have any ball handlers that can help. So I'm going to take them out. I think I got Team Cavs as a threat to the Team Spurs. What do you think?
I could go ahead and agree with that assumption. I think the Team Cavs would be the threatening, let's say, leader of the pack there, coming out and challenging the Spurs. But I still have high hopes for my Spurs here, and I'm expecting a really good showing out of Chris Paul and Wemby. They're going to want to shell out and kind of show something for the fan base out there.
Yeah.
I think they might come away as the winners. If they're not one of the heavily favored teams to come out, heavily favored teams, they should be.
Do you think Spurs win this? I think the Spurs win this contest. I think they do. I think they have the edge on all the skills that are being tested. Your thoughts?
I think they do. That's why I'm excited about this particular skills challenge in this year's NBA All-Star game, All-Star weekend, should I say, because I think the Spurs are going to shock everybody and they're going to come away as the victors in the skills challenge.
Yeah, I think the only thing I think that would stop them is that half-court shot. Don't you have to do a half-court shot? Remember that?
I don't
complete the circuit.
I'm not afraid of that because I've seen Wemby. And you get there to the arena early sometimes, and you see video and practice. This is something that he's done with Mamu. Him and Mamu go back and forth quite a bit, and they go and do these half-court shots, and they're just playing around. Wemby's actually really good at doing that. It wouldn't surprise me if he gets it done his first try, man.
Right. Yeah, exactly. So there you have it. The first two events that we're covering here, Wemby at the All-Star game, Wemby and Paul at the Skills Challenge. So Joe's thinking that the Team Spurs are going to win that Skills Challenge. I think they got the edge. I'm just looking out for Team Cavs. I think that's the team to watch. He is Joe Garcia, at Area 210 Podcast, and follow him on X at Area 210 Podcast. Right now, when we get back, the big event that a lot of Spurs fans are talking about, that is Stephon Castle and the Slam Dunk Contest. Let's talk about that in just a few seconds right here on Locked On Spurs. But first, let's go ahead and talk about DoorDash. NBA fans, get ready. They swoosh, you say. Thanks to Dash Pass, every time a player drops 50 or more points in a game, you score a huge deal the next day. It's simple. When a player scores 50 or more in a game during the 24-25 NBA regular season, Dash Pass members get 50% off an order, up to $10 off the next day from noon to midnight. Here's why you should take advantage of this deal. Game day feast. After an epic 50-point performance, celebrate your ordering wings, pizza, burgers from your favorite spot delivered straight to your door. Late night cravings, whether you're staying up late watching highlights or just need a midnight snack, use Dash Pass to grab something delicious while saving big. Hey, what about fueling your own watch party? Planning to catch the next game? Order your go-to snacks and meals at a discount and get ready for more high-scoring action. Lunch on the go? Need a quick and easy lunch the next day? Dash Pass gets your favorite meals with $0 delivery fee, reduced service fees. Plus, now you save even more with this exclusive NBA offer. Sign up for Dash Pass and be ready to save. When any player scores 50 or more in a game, Dash Pass members get 50% off the order the next day. That's $10 off. Use promo code NBA50 from noon to midnight after a 50-point game on eligible orders at participating merchants. Must have an active Dash Pass account. Terms apply. Visit DoorDash to learn more.
As the new leader of the Decepticons, I command you to subscribe to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
And we're back right here on Locked On Spurs with Joe Garcia of Area 210 Podcast. Follow him on X at Area 210 Podcast. And we'll talk about his show in just a few seconds. We're continuing to talk about the Spurs at the All-Star Weekend. We just talked about Wemby and Chris Paul. Let's talk about Stephon Castle. Now, Stephon Castle is doing the Rising Stars game, so that'll be fun. And, should be a fun time, just the sophomores and rookies going back and forth. Basically, kind of like a mini All-Star game. But let's talk about the big event, and that is the Slam Dunk Contest. For the first time in a long time, we have a Spur in the event, Joe. The last Spur to do it was Greg Cadillac Anderson. However, he was not the only Spur, him and Castle, to do the event. If you go historically, Joe, it's been Castle, Cadillac Anderson, Johnny Dawkins, and then you go to the ABA days, it was George Gervin. So the Spurs, they've had some representation in the NBA Slam Dunk contest, but it's been a while, hasn't it?
It's been quite some time. The last Spur that I can remember winning at anything, right, in the dunk contest was Brent Barry, and he wasn't even a Spur. He was a Clipper at the time, and he won by having his warm-up jersey on. Remember the little jacket? And he jumped from the stripe, and he had a dunk, and that was at the Alamo Dome. That was the last time that the Spurs hosted NBA All-Star Weekend. And that's the only other thing I can ever remember. But again, he wasn't officially a Spur. He was a Clipper at the time. But Cadillac Anderson is the most notable name that I can remember. And that's going back to, 1988, I believe, when he was in the Slam Dunk contest.
Yeah, and I think Gervin took part of it, but that was when the Spurs were in the ABA. But historically, technically, it was a Spur. But people forget about Johnny Dawkins. Johnny Dawkins took part in the Slam Dunk contest, too, before. I think it was before. Well, the point is, he's done it. I think he gets lost in the shuffle. But the point is, no Spur has ever won it. Now, the Spurs have been acting like whatever he's practicing ahead of the event, Castle, that is like a fault. The closest we gotten was a Spurs exec came on Locked On Spurs a couple weeks ago, Brandon James, and he teased it. He said that he's seen Castle throw down some dunks and that it's going to make Spurs fans and just fans in general just smile big. But I think he wins it, Joe. I think he wins it. You look at him just physically, he's compact, he's strong, he gets up, and I think the edge for him is the power. He has the power dunks, doesn't he?
He has the power dunks. The kid's got hops, man. There's no denying that. As a rookie, I believe he has one of the most made dunks this far in the season, as far as rookies are concerned. He's actually really good. When you look at him, and especially he's in the open court or he gets in ISO situations, and what he's able to do, kind of cross people up, make his drive towards the basket. Kid's got hops, man. He's not afraid of nobody. He goes out there. He's had some spectacular dunks. His speed, his athleticism, he's a full package, man. And the one thing that he has going for him right now, Jeff, is you just named it. He's a rookie, man. He's got everything going for him. He's got that youth on his side, man, and that energy. I think, he's going to come away as one of the favorites to win the whole thing. In Spurs fans' eyes, especially my eyes, I'm looking forward to having that breakthrough where Spur actually is in the slam dunk contest and wins it. I'm hoping that it's going to happen this upcoming weekend at the NBA All-Star Weekend. But you know what would be really, really surprising to me is if either had the Spurs Coyote be part of the dunk or
that would be good.
He had Torrey the Tower, which he is the mascot for the Tower of Americas. And it's somebody that dresses up as the actual tower. That would be awesome, too, to have him jump over the tower and then dunk it. I would love that, man.
Yeah, I'll look at historically, too. I'm just so curious if there are any other Spurs that had competed. We did forget one. Edgar Jones, helicopter, in 1984. Edgar Jones did it. And by the way, Johnny Dawkins did the slam dunk contest in 87, and Cadillac was 88.
Well, you know what? That was held in the hemisphere, Jeff. I don't know if we'd be able to see it because we'd be behind the obstructed.
Yeah, I know. Man, that big old pillar right there. Like, who won? Yeah, exactly. All right, let's look at the field here. So obviously we got Castle, who I think is ahead in that. But you have Bulls, Montas Bucelis. Then you got Bucks, Andre Jackson Jr., and then the two-time defending champ, Matt McClung of the Magic. So get this, Joe. A few days ago, I looked at Vegas and like the odds makers, right? They have Castle finishing dead last. Dead last. Like not even in the mix. They say Vegas knows all, but I think they got this one wrong, Joe. Your thoughts?
No, I think they got this one wrong, man. I don't think Castle's going to be dead last. I think the kid's going to make it all the way to the end. I think he's really going to have a bona fide chance of winning. Spurs fans, don't listen to the Vegas odd makers. You want to go ahead and put a little money down on the game, and see if Castle will win. Hey, man, go ahead and throw some cash on it. Makes the game more interesting. Makes the festivities more interesting.
Absolutely. Obviously, you got to give the nod to the champ. He is a 2-time defending champ, so there might be some sway his way because he's the champ. But who do you think? My dark horse is Bucelis out of the Bulls. Who's your dark horse?
And this is for what? 3-point?
No, slam dunk contest.
Slam dunk contest.
So it's Montes Bucelis, Steph Castle, Mac McClung, and then Andre Jackson Jr. of the Bucks.
I gotta say, McClung, man, the kid always shells out, man, when it comes to the slam dunk contest, and I don't think this year is going to be any different. While he's getting up there already, in age, he's going to be his 3rd appearance in a row, something like that.
His 3rd appearance. Yep.
Yeah, so I mean, you got to go ahead and give it to the savvy vet at this point. So I'm going to go with McClung. I think he might be the dark horse that could overtake Castle. So Castle's going to have to show us something spectacular. Show us something different that hasn't been done before. If he can do that, he's going to get into good graces with not only the audience and the fan base, but also the judges. And you know how particular they can be at times. But if he shows them something special, they're going to be like, Mira, this kid's something special,
Hey, what if he dunks over Wemby? You think he has enough hops for that?
I don't know if he's got enough hops for that, but I mean, that would be cool. I want him to bring the coyote, man. Can we just dream and have him bring the coyote out and have the coyote be part of it?
The last time they had a mascot in that, remember the Magic? It was Aaron Gordon.
Dragon.
He had the dragon, and then the dragon was holding the ball, and he took out the hands. Yeah. So it's been a while, but I mean, I think where Castle has the edge is the power dunks. We see the in-game dunks; they're just power, and judges like that. Now, he's spoken with Vince Carter and Shaq ahead of the event on TNT, and they told him, you got to make it on your first try. You got to do it on your first try, because I think after you miss your first attempt, it's like the air gets sucked out of the arena. It's like, okay. Like, you kind of know what's going to happen, right? He has to get on that first try, doesn't he?
Has to get on his first try, man. Like I said, show us something different, man. Show us something that we ain't seen before. I would come out and just have that first dunk just be something special, man. Why go ahead and just play safe, right? Play it safe and just do, all right, just a little safe dunk there. Windmill dunk, 360, something, trying to keep it safe. No, man, come out, take a risk. Show us something special right off the bat. Set the tone for the rest of the field, because if you can do that with your first dunk, what does that tell the rest of the group? Oh, man, I was just going to come out here and play it safe. Now I got to go and dig deep into my bag of tricks. You got to set the tone right away.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, so I'm going with Steph Castle. You're going with Castle as well?
I'm going to go with Castle as well. Well, put some money down on Castle. That's how confident
Put some money on that. There you go, Joe. He is Joe Garcia with the Area 210 podcast. Follow my next at Area 210 podcast right now. All right, when we get back, I'm going to look at your comments. Locked On Spurs fans, you guys are leaving a bunch of comments. Let's dive into them right here on Locked On Spurs.
When the game tips off, the NBA action is just getting started, and there's no better place to get in on that than with FanDuel, America's #1 sportsbook. With FanDuel, you can place live bets throughout the game, so even if you miss the opening tip-off or want to bet on a fourth quarter comeback, you can stay in the action. And if you're looking for a bigger payout, you can even combine your live bets into the same game parlay. I love using FanDuel's live betting feature because it keeps every moment of the game exciting. Whether I'm backing my team for a late game rally or picking a player to hit a clutch three, I never feel like I miss a chance. Plus, with the app, it's easy to use. When you win, you get paid instantly. Right now, new FanDuel customers can get $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet wins. You just want to go to FanDuel.com to join today. That's FanDuel.com for your shot at $150 in bonus bets. How about that? Make every moment more with FanDuel, the official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Hey, this is Hot Rod.
And I'm RC from San Antonio Spurs.
And you're listening to Locked On Spurs with Jeff Garcia.
We're back right here on Locked On Spurs with Joe Garcia of Area 210 Podcast. Follow on X at Area 210 Podcast right now. So it's time for you guys, Locked On Spurs fans. It's been a while. We haven't caught up with you guys, but here we are. Perfect timing, too, with a break, right? So you guys are leaving a bunch of comments. We're only going to pick 2, so let's dive into it. Joe, the first one, I'm starting off with a good one here. I gotta spell this one out because I don't think this is the name. I think it's just random numbers and letters. It's from at KMCKJF9CO. So thank you, JF9CO. This person says, I have no faith in this team consistently winning while Mitch is coaching. He needs to change the starting lineup. Spurs fans and Joe, Mitch has been getting kind of the business lately from the fan base. He really has. They nitpick the starting the lineups, the rotations. We read this comment right here. What do you think about Mitch, Joe? Do you think he's doing a good job, or you think, that he's not?
No, man. Mitch Johnson came in as the interim coach, right, when Coach Pop went out. Immediately, you saw some results on the court. Hey, man, he's going to do something here. Then that kind of fell off, kind of reverted back to, let's play it safe. Let's go ahead and bring the veterans back in the fray. And his lineups have been absolute garbage as of late. And Spurs fans notice that. They're savvy. They're not dumb. It's like they know ball. They can see it for themselves, and they can see what happens over the course of the last couple games. What happened? What has happened with the lineups they've been rolling out there? They lost 2 close games back-to-back. They beat a bad Wizards team.
Yeah.
I'm just like, come on, man. This ain't it. And Spurs fans can see this. And they want change, man. Mitch, they want him to go out there and do something different with these lineups.
Yeah.
It's like this, Jeff. They're not going to go ahead and sit Chris Paul, right? They're not going to have him come off the bench. But you can see, and the numbers tell you, that Stephon Castle is the better choice. Do the right thing, Mitch.
Yeah. You can see it too. I mean, even the numbers show even a 2-man unit of Fox and Castle is way heads above number wise. Fox.
What's that saying that I have, Jeff? People lie.
What's that?
Women lie. The numbers don't lie, brother.
The numbers don't lie, and the numbers do not lie when it comes to Fox and Castle starting together. And Mitch Johnson did say after they lost to Boston that they're going to take the break to reevaluate lineups, rotation, stuff like that. For the last portion of the season. Think about it too, Joe. When they come back from break, it's only like
30 games,
20-ish, 30 games. That's it, and it's over.
30 games, and in those 30 games, the Spurs are going to have to go 20-10 if they hope and they have delusions of grandeur, trying to even breaking through the play-in.
I don't think this team has, and that's minimum. And I think they need at least 25 more wins to even sniff that. I don't think they.
You believe?
Them.
You believe?
I mean, think about they still got Houston, they still got Memphis, they still got some tough outs. I know their schedule is considered one of the easiest ones, but again, they lost to the Hornets, a G League team. That's basically what it was on the road trip. So it's going to be interesting to see how they handle that. But no, I agree. I think that's the glaring thing. The thing is, like Chris Paul, it's him. He came to San Antonio to start, to get minutes. And how do you tell the point guard you're going to take a seat for the rookie? That's kind of a difficult thing to cross. The only thing I think of is benching Devin Vassell maybe and have Castle and go really, but that would be a small unit out there.
Yeah, you need to add some size. They need a big man, Jeff. Let's be honest. They do need a bona fide senior. They can't be putting out Jeremy Sohan out there. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And again,
all right. Let's continue on the Locked On Spurs fan comments. So they've left at the Locked On Spurs YouTube page. Go there right now. Subscribe on YouTube. This is from S. Gallagher27. Joe, he says, quote, the amount of disrespect to CP3 is unacceptable. He gives us wins when he's in the starting lineup and settles everyone down. All right, Joe, so we have somebody saying, no, we're wrong. You keep CP3 in there. Now he does make a point. He does steady the ship. He is the vocal leader. He is the guy you're going to go to if the game is on the line and you need that calming force in a tight game. What about those arguments, Joe? You think that's enough reason to keep CP3 in the starting 5 moving forward?
Well, yeah. I mean, I got a name for CP3. Remember that movie that they had with that old racehorse from back in the day? What they call him, Seabiscuit? What
No,
happens to his age horses?
yes.
What are, he's old Seabiscuit, brother. What happens to the old racing horses when they've been, run into the ground? They put them out to pasture, right? Chris Paul, he's been great with the team. He's helped them win some close games, commanding force out there, telling the players to calm down, do this, do that in close games. Being a floor general, great for him. What does he do, though, when it comes to the defensive end? He's a defensive liability out there on the court. Is he getting stops to close out these really tight games, 1-point games that the Spurs are losing? No. So while he does bring you something as far as veteran leadership, to this team, and he can be that general out there, the flip side to that is he can't really help you win these close games. That has to be done by these young players.
Yeah.
Unfortunately for Chris Paul, he wants them to play better. He's trying to will them to victory. And with that old analogy, you can lead a horse to water, but you can't make him drink. And what happens with the Spurs team time and time again, with Chris Paul in the lineup, they make the same mistakes, Jeff. They keep on doing the same mistakes over and over and over and over and over again. Chris Paul out there does help the team. I will give him that. But at the end of the day, he's a defensive liability. And you got to look at that as a fact.
Yeah. Fox and Castle together would just be awesome, and we don't really have that much of a sample size of those two on the court, but we do with the little bit that we do have. I mean, the numbers are just heavily in favor of that two-man starting unit right there of Fox and Castle. So, hopefully we'll see if the Spurs will bench CP3 or at minimum maybe just insert Castle earlier. How's that? Is that a good happy middle?
That'd be a good medium. That'd be a good happy medium. Yeah, man.
That'd be a good happy
Oh,
middle.
hey, go ahead and bench Seabiscuit.
Yeah. You want to put him out to pasture already, Joe? Come on,
man. He's had his time, bro. He's good run.
This season he's been, kind of clutch in tight games. He has been making some key threes.
Okay, I'll give you that. But why? Ask yourself, why has Chris Paul looked so good on this Spurs team? Could it be that the talent that's surrounding Wemby on this team just isn't all that great? Maybe that's why.
Well, we'll see. He is Joe Garcia of Area 210 Podcast. Follow him on X at Area 210 Podcast. And we thank y'all for leaving those comments. Keep those comments coming, especially during the break. We're going to have a long gap between games starting today. So we'll see how the Spurs will look in the last segment. Can you believe, Joe, the season's already over? It's like 30-ish games. That's it.
30 games
fast. It's going to go fast.
But it's been a long season, Jeff. Been a long 82-game season.
They went above 22 wins, so yay. That's progress. Technically, everybody. But we'll see how they close out the season.
38
what's going on?
That's what we said. 38 wins.
Hey, we'll see. That's a great topic. I'm going to save that topic for one of these days for the next game.
Yeah, so what we'll
save that one. Yeah, we'll save that one. Joe, tell them what's going on with Area 210.
All right, so what we got cooking over here at the Area 210 podcast is we go ahead and bring this podcast to you live Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. all the way up until about 11:30 a.m. Sometimes we go over. And it's all run by the fans. We get a lot of people in the chat, and they dictate the flow of the show, what we talk about, what topics we're going to really double down on. And you can hear a lot of Mike Jimenez's hot takes on there for the better, for the worse. But we appreciate the love. Come out, watch us Monday through Friday again from 10 to 11:30. We go live on our YouTube channel over at the Alamo City Podcast Network.
And follow Joe on X at Area 210 Podcast. Joe, thank you for stopping by to close out the week here at Locked On Spurs. And hopefully we're right, man. Hopefully Castle brings that trophy, that slam dunk trophy to San Antonio, the first one ever. I think he has a good shot. Hey, everybody else, we got to hear from you. What do you think about Castle at the slam dunk contest? Wemby at the All-Star game? Chris Paul and Wemby at the Skills Challenge. We need to hear all that. You can leave us a comment over the Locked On Spurs YouTube page, or go subscribe right now over at iTunes, Spotify, Kenspy Plus app, YouTube, so many other platforms. And check out the Locked On Spurs newsletter. If you're on YouTube, see the description below. Click on that link. I make it very easy for you. LO Spurs newsletter. Then there's a link. Click on that. Sign up. Completely free. Hits your email inbox every single day. We'll be back Monday. Talk about the Spurs as the season goes on. Got the Austin games. The road trip is going to continue. They return home. Plenty to talk about. including maybe a hot topic. Yeah. Joe.
Hey, I volunteer as tribute too, Jeff, because I'm off on Monday. So if you need somebody.
All right, well, let's do it. Let's bring that up on Monday. All right, Joe, I'm going to pencil you in for Monday. See, Joe's going to end the week with us, and then he's going to start the week with us. How about that, Joe? All right, we'll do that. So we're Joe Garcia. I'm Jeff Garcia. We're going to put a lock on this episode of Lock